Are you going to give some background for the man behind?
I think you need
the
to.
manifesto.
You absolutely need to give some background on this one.
Well,
Which manifesto?
Well, the one that the man we know personally,
The one that's probably
we're
the
starting with.
worst one.
And also the one that's going to get us famous. Everyone already knows.
I do feel like you
Manta.
found like this is like it's like content that is no one's ever seen, but it's very funny.
It's a vein of gold in internet of shit. Like
it reminds
it
me.
really is.
Have you ever read A Confederacy of Dunces?
I've not, but that is something.
So it is a fantastic book. Highly recommend it. First of all, it's basically it was written by this guy in like the 60s, and it's about basically the original neckbeard, and it's just like this fat neckbeard guy who's like a grad student, and he like just lives with his mom at home, and he like is like fucking around in New Orleans because his mom told him to get a job, and he like won't do it. And it reminded me a lot of like that book. Reading this guy is just like the inner thoughts of this person who just has like no place
in the world.
Writing anything that anyone would ever be influenced by.
Yeah, here we are.
Yet here we are.
About
Okay.
to send this message out to millions.
if our first episode was about forbidden content, what is the theme for this gentleman's content?
I wouldn't say it's forbidden, but it should be.
It's not recommended.
Yeah, no,
It makes you worse off knowing.
Yeah.
So we will I don't want, it's not lovingly, but we will refer to this individual as the Webmaster. And we will not be doxing this individual.
Yeah, do not try to find us.
No.
Do not Google any
Also,
of
good
this.
luck trying to, because this website's been offline for over decades. You would have to know the exact URL to find it.
But let's not say any more than that.
But he would deserve it, though.
Yeah, I mean,
We can all agree.
yeah. We've all been burned hard by this man at some point in our lives.
Our collective
except for BB.
Yeah.
Bacon bits.
Bacon bits.
Yeah, he's only heard secondhand, but
I feel like I was there. You know.
yeah.
You were there in spirit.
And also, if he ever found out about you, he would come after you. So
That's good.
yeah.
he would send the gang.
So yeah, we're gonna do some cyberbullying today. So, my sacrifice to the content trough this week is it's gonna be two. We'll call them blog posts or articles. How about that? The first one being, if women ruled the world. Too late! So, I don't know how we want to split this up. I can start, and then maybe we want to go around and split it up by paragraph and top
But
two.
should we introduce who this person is?
Okay, so yeah, let's do that.
So just for some context, I guess. Yeah,
context.
this is a man who we all, except for Bacon Bits over here, we all grew up with on the same street. I'm now 31. He is 7 years older than me. But most of my childhood, he was a major presence in my life, as he was for
Swine Supreme and
yes,
Big Pig,
yeah.
Notorious
Yes.
B.I.G.
Yes, as he was for them too. He was best friends with my brother, which is how I came to know him. He definitely didn't mind being 7 years older or more than the people he was hanging out with, and he definitely liked influencing the minds of people around him.
Well, I would say young boys specifically.
Yeah.
He appreciated the age diversity. I would consider him a...
Yeah, if there's one thing this man is not, it's not an ageist.
Like, I would consider him our like collective mutual bully.
Yeah.
He's the neighborhood bully.
Yeah, for sure.
And he found different ways in inroads to each person and how to, get at what makes them click.
Maybe he's not like a traditional bully. He's not giving you swirlies in the toilet, but
More of an artist.
Yeah, he was an
more
artist
of a
and so-
savant, more of a
he
visionary.
He knew how to pick the individual things that would get at the one person. So for me, he was very highly passive aggressive, and he would try and gaslight me constantly. But I was a little shitty know-it-all, so he hated that because I would call him out sometimes.
Yeah. This man had very strong ideas about the world
as you will say.
that he wanted the world to know. And he wrote them down for us.
Because
on his blog, which he told people about. This is not private. He did tell people about this. So we're not exactly doxing him anyway.
He was proud.
It's just,
he wanted the world to know his thoughts.
I feel like it's also important context. Like, he like he was insistent on us all wearing fedoras. There was like something about it. I remember
This is
multiple
also
times
the year is important. This is 2008, 2007. So he's a little bit ahead of the curve here with the fedora thing.
a pre neckbeard.
Mm-hmm.
He was insistent on taking us all out one time to Hot Topic to all get fedoras.
Would you all wear them at the same time? Was that like his?
I mean, I'm not.
Well, what's the point of all buying them at once if you're not gonna?
A gang of fedoras. I was not a party to this, so I'm a little happy about that, I guess.
Yeah, I think I was out by then.
But also, I guess it's also important to note this is not your stereotypical fedora wearer. He was a relatively like fit soccer player kind of guy.
Yes, he didn't have the typical neckbeard body shape that you might imagine.
He peaked in high school. That was his bit. Like that was his thing.
That's a very important key to this. I don't know if there's any more context that needs to be given about this man other than he did try to impress people with his writing. He did tell women specifically, check out my blog as a way to try to impress them. So this is not...
And okay, the blog was not just a blog of his inner thoughts. It was also a way of promoting his band. It was also a way of promoting his hockey league that he started and kept scores for and gave himself MVPs awards for.
He was the both highest scorer and highest assister, I think, in it. Never to be broken, never would be. He stopped taking, stats after a while.
So he's basically the Wayne Gretzky of
he
his
was
league.
Wayne Gretzky and he was Mark Messier. He was both, But,
oh God! We forgot a major element.
In addition to his hockey league, he also had a wrestling federation of young boys, of which
That's right. Represent.
Yeah, me and another street boy had signed 10-year contracts to wrestle for his federation specifically, as though any other high school kid would come around. Hey, you want to wrestle for me? But he did write something up on a piece of notebook paper, and he did have me and this other kid sign it that we would only wrestle for him, and us being 9 and 10.
And so you were probably really happy when you were 19.
I was like, thank God my future's set.
I think that he wanted to. I think he wanted to think he was living like an 80s movie. Like he was really obsessed with living, like the idea of living in a movie. He was the hero of his own story for sure.
Yeah, he was like a coke dealer, but without the coke.
Very anti-drug.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Straight
yeah.
edge to like an annoying point, but he definitely lived like a coke dealer in Florida in the 80s. I wanted to, like, he had all these people under his contract and power, and they had to do what I said.
And I guess so. Bacon Bits, you're the only one that didn't wrestle for him.
I'm kind of like regretting that I was never bullied by him. You're just hearing these stories.
It was great.
Sounds good. Sounds great.
Highly enjoyable.
He was undefeated in. Oh yeah, because there was also the MMA league too.
Oh God, I thought that's what we were talking about.
Well, I mean, there was the fake wrestling league and the real wrestling league.
We did. He okay. At the end of his undefeated career, which he. Okay, so Big Pig might have to take this one, but because I wasn't there for it. But the end of his undefeated career, like somebody broke his arm.
Oh, this is great. This is my friend. My friend outside of this, I unfortunately brought my friends into this. Oh fuck!
Is the pizza
the
here?
P-Man's here. Hey, you want to join the podcast?
Are you all drinking in there?
Just tell them we're Chapo.
Wait, are they actually here?
Yeah, it's all. I mean, at some car
Is this
pulled into your
surprising?
driveway.
Oh,
I don't know. I would assume it's pizza.
He said, "I'm
pizza we
disgusted
ordered.
with you guys tonight. I'm not coming into the door.
I just looked through the window and I'm driving off.
How
Podcasts.
dare you? You guys are all sexist pigs."
Podcasts are a poison on this world. Read Ted K.
Wait, ask him if he's a cop though, just to make sure.
He says, "Yeah,
Yeah, they have to tell you if they're a cop.
yeah, I'm a cop.
I'm gonna say it's not that bad.
I'll just stick with my nuts.
Oh yeah, that's good.
which one?
That's the money ticket."
chocolate banana.
The Kit Kats?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, give me some of that.
Yeah, let me see them.
Let me have.
That's the
Give
money.
me something that makes me forget that I just ate a cricket.
Yeah, me too.
that's the money shot.
I feel like an animal at a pet store right now.
So this is like a kind of a food review podcast. We
That's
review
much better.
we
There
review
we go.
candy, crickets, you send things to us and we'll review if it's good or not.
We're the cricket guys.
This is the mushroom jerky is fantastic. It's very
I give it a 1. I give it a 2.
Out of
I like it.
Like 12.
Okay, let's go back to the Webmaster.
Okay. Let's just jump in.
okay.
Oh, and yeah, it's important to note we're going to be coming back to this gold mine in future episodes because it would be criminal not to.
Maybe honestly, the first like series should just be going through all of them. 'Cause this is like good content that no one's ever heard before.
We've been sleeping on this.
Yeah. Well, we've been, and no one else even knows it exists. It's hidden in like a pyramid for thousands of years.
I just want to make it clear. This guy fucking deserves it.
All right, so let's just jump in. Again, we are reading If Women Ruled the World. Too late.
When was this written?
2008.
Okay.
Like the very beginning of 2008.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here we go. Without a doubt, the female is the most interesting of species to walk this planet.
Jesus Christ.
And most likely to exist in the universe. Men, well, we have the macho personas, we love to compete, and most definitely feel like we run the world. Like the majority of men out there, I used to believe this as well. But over the years, I have realized that we are definitely the weaker gender. While it's true that men run most countries, at their side is a woman who has complete control over them. I hesitate when saying this, but women rule the world.
Did you really hesitate? It's in the title.
Men are simply animals for women to use at their leisure. When a woman wants something moved or carried for her, she simply asks a man, and almost every time the sucker will do as she asks. Hell, it could be a 1-pound box, which clearly she can handle herself, but the jackass will run to her rescue and do as wishes. Hey, I'll be the first to admit that I'm king of jackasses when it comes to this, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. But surely I'm just a tool used for the sake of movement, and for some reason I'm fine with that. When a woman wants to play, she takes us out of our cage, but when she gets bored, she simply tosses us back into our pen, where we casually run circles on that damn wheel until she's in the mood for more. It's pathetic of us in so many ways, but it doesn't end there.
I feel like someone should report this man as like a school shooter. I'm like very reading this. I'm like, I am not sure.
I don't think the window for him shooting up a school is closed yet. Let's just leave it open.
Yeah. And also just for context, at the time of writing this, he's 25. So
if someone wrote this now, I'd be very concerned.
Yeah.
You have some unhealthy opinions.
Here we go. Males tend to be forms of entertainment for females. It is truly amazing what a man will do to simply garner the attention of a woman. Some dance, parentheses, even though they suck most of the time, in parentheses. A few will use awful pickup lines, while others will attempt to show off while they're playing some type of game or sport. Editor's note, this guy was captain of a soccer team, so he's definitely, I guess, criticizing himself here, or I don't know.
He's got a bias.
Yeah. It's quite embarrassing to our species, but honestly, we all do it.
Is he defining species as man, as an independent species from woman?
Well, yeah, read the paragraph 1. Women are the most interesting species, so obviously men are a separate species.
In the planet and maybe the universe.
Maybe even the universe. We don't know about
I do want to stop here. I have read some of his work before, and the one interesting thing you want to understand about the Webmaster is that what kind of is pervasive among all his work is his belief that there may be intelligent life on other planets, and he doesn't want to rule that out when he's making definitive statements about women.
He only hints through it through offhanded comments.
It's very subtle. You're gonna want to.
He's a world builder.
Yeah.
There's a very deep lore.
But honestly, we all do it. Furthermore, has one ever noticed that men are always getting into fights over girls, but we rarely see women throw down over guys?
Nope, never known that.
I never watched Jerry Springer. Sometimes I wonder if women just feel like seeing some blood to quench their thirst and fill their needs for attention. If that's the case, then they sure know how to get it done.
So I ask, what is it that a woman possesses that makes us men go so crazy?
What could it be?
The chauvinist male will most likely respond that it is a female's breasts or ass that drives a male so wild. But I beg to argue that it is much more than that. While those areas are indeed nice, I contend that it is the twinkle in a female's eyes, the beauty of her smile, the warmth of her touch, the soothing sound of her voice, the softness of her skin. Come on. And the comfort in her personality that truly drives a man insane. A man with class, at least. He's just writing this I want another woman to read this and be like, oh, this is so hot. Like, I want to sleep with this man now.
He's the man for me.
He's just a classic man.
I've been fortunate enough to date some wonderful gals over the years, and I feel so very fortunate to have spent time with each and every one of them.
I have never met a single person a single woman that he has ever spent a minute with.
I'm pretty sure he didn't have sex at like 28. So I don't know what he's talking about here.
Sadly, I have. It's
Okay.
thanks to them, I not only got to know some great personalities, but was able to learn much from each of them. With all these things taken into account, I've taken the vow to come out of my cage when asked, to run on that wheel when my woman is bored, to carry all the 6-ounce boxes she can find, to drop the gloves when necessary, to make a fool out of myself when desired. Basically, I'm fine with kneeling down before her beauty and loving her with all of my heart, because I now understand who really has the power.
Okay, let's wrap this up. The truth is that all women possess an amazing loveliness that, if used properly, will attract a number of men. Hopefully the woman chooses wisely, but if not, she can just throw the man back into the toy chest she got him from and find a new toy soldier, so to speak. In reality, that's all men are, toys awaiting to entertain the woman as she so craves. The woman is absolutely magnificent in too many ways to name, holding all the power, though she allows us men to feel like we're really in control, which we are foolish enough to believe. So, while men are undoubtedly mere servants to the female race, women are goddesses who allow us to think we're in charge, though we'll always believe it's the other way around.
It's like he's saying what I'm thinking.
Now, question for everyone: Who read this at the time and actually had anything to say to the webmaster?
I remember being friends with this man at the time, thinking very highly of him, and still was just like, I just can't read this. This is so bad. Your writing is just bad. It's just not good.
He's very sure of himself, though. It's obvious that he thinks of himself as a very good writer. He's very confident in his,
so to speak.
Yeah, so to speak.
I get the impression that his confidence in himself as like a person extends to his writing, even if he doesn't, think that he's a great writer.
Oh, yeah.
As you can imagine, this man had just dog shit relationship advice. He's just
Yeah, looking back on it, I remember him now trying to give relationship advice to
children.
What were middle schoolers? as a high schooler who has never also been in a relationship. Responses to article.
So yes, the webmaster follows up his writings and musings about women with a response to this article. And mind you, this is what we just read is the first of his public writings. So that was just a flavor of what's to come in the future. And he writes a follow-up, apparently, and it's not public, but apparently he received some comments somewhere.
So I'll say personally, I know he recommended and sent this link to people that he knew in real life to read because he was very happy with what he produced. And obviously he got a little backlash from some of the women he was trying to impress with that previous article.
So is that implying that someone actually read this?
I think one person probably said that sucked, and then the room led him to write this whole response.
All right. Response to articles of 1/25/08. So I've actually received some feedback to my articles from January 25th, 2008, and would like to respond to them. In fact, I plan to do response articles to the feedback I get each week. So yes, I do indeed listen to and read everything thrown at me. For starters, I had a question about whether Jason Mayhem Miller was in the UFC or not.
What?
Yeah, of course. Quite simply, he is not a member of the UFC at the moment, though he did fight there once back in April of 2005. I feel strongly that he belongs in the UFC, though, as he is very talented and entertaining, but for now he's with HD Net Fights, most likely fighting Frank Trigg next, which is a rematch I've been wanting to see.
Good start for the responses.
Who asked that?
The question. I read your women article, and I want to know if Jason Mayhem Miller was actually in the UFC.
No, he's a fighter, but does he beat women?
And it turns out the answer to that question was yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait,
I'm pretty sure he's out of the UFC for exactly what you just said.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
fuck. Okay.
So I guess Jason also read his article.
Like, listen here, asshole. I'm in the UFC.
Yeah, he got pissed.
I'm getting off the wheel, goddammit.
Yeah, Jason was tired of being a broken toy being brought out at women's amusement. Now, for the comments about my article on women ruling the world, one of my friends came up to me after reading it, told me he liked it,
Lie.
and thought I was somewhat playing to the women. Being that he knows me and my stance on how to treat a woman, I was a little offended by this comment. But I value everyone's opinion and will respect it. So let me explain where I'm coming from. You see, people, I grew up with an older sister, quote, in parentheses, I don't include my younger sister because she was too young at the time, end quotes. 3 cousins, parentheses, all female, and a bunch of girls that worked at my grandparents' store. So I was constantly exposed to
And
that
a
female
small
view of
harem
life.
of women constantly around me.
I see this as a curse and a blessing. though. It's a curse because if people don't know me all that well, they'll think I'm being a phony with my opinions, which definitely isn't the case. In fact, I'm often too honest.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just
It's a real
it's
piece
just
of
one
shit.
flaw.
Mr. Too Damn Honest. Growing up with the female perspective was a blessing because it taught me how to be a better man. Not that I'm perfect, but I feel that I'm more sensitive to the female point of view. Do I over-exaggerate on certain points and examples? I surely did. And that's just to add some humor and entertainment to my work. I do feel that women are in charge. And that us men are basically tools for them to use. But maybe not to the point that I expressed. I just hope that people reading this either A, ask me why I feel a certain way about something, or B, learn to understand over-exaggeration for the sake of humor. I tend to be a smartass of sorts, and I like to have fun with certain subjects, so don't judge, and learn to laugh and enjoy my works. Things are much better if you do.
So I feel like
Bite the bullet.
Just fight the
I
bullet.
feel like this emphasizes his strategy of dealing with commentary he doesn't agree with. Is just like, just keep talking as long as possible until everyone's just bored. They cannot deal with it any longer.
Yeah. I also like, it's like, they took me seriously, but I was over exaggerating. But yes, they are in charge, and yes, we are toys for their amusement. But I mean, what else did he exaggerate past that, though? I mean, it's...
Someone has like one comment, he writes a whole blog. I can't read all of that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Basically, to finish my point about the women article, growing up with all that female influence, it branded into my mind, well, how would one of these ladies, my sister, cousins, employees, what? Feel if I acted like this? They'd definitely slap me over the head. End quote. Those girls would be telling each other their stories, usually while I was sitting nearby eating a candy bar and gulping down a chocolate milk. Nesquik.
Shout out Nesquik.
Our sponsor for this.
And they would certainly turn to me and say, if I ever find out that you act like towards a girl, I'll come hunt you down, end quote. Being the young child I was, about 5 years old at the time, I was genuinely terrified for my life. So I was whipped into my beliefs. But over time, I've realized that I truly do feel they're correct. You all have the rights to disagree, but that's the beauty of this country. We all have the right to form our own opinions, but don't bash my beliefs and insult them, because I have the right to feel the way I do as well. Thanks for reading, and keep the comments, questions coming. I enjoy them quite a bit.
So do we.
Josh, when he starts saying we have the right to form our opinions, start playing the national anthem.
God bless America.
Well, speaking of someone who loves America, I think it's time we hop back into just wrapping up our conversation about our boy.
I don't know who this fucking Ted guy is, but he's great.
Big T.
Super smart. I don't read like books and stuff, but he like pretty smart.
Yeah. I'm not normally one for math, but this guy knows what he's talking
There's
about.
no math in that book though.
No, but he was a math guy.